at practice. Everybody getting into the act.
Durant fires for three.
Got it! Got it! Here's Thompson for three.
Big shot by Steph Curry.
Let's take a look at this. This comes in from JTL. I still don't understand, Griff, how the Lakers make more sense than the Pels if he's going to jump conferences. Why would Boogie want to be in Golden State's division?
Well,
My reaction to your comment.
Well, I think the reality is New Orleans and Dell Demps are dealing from a position of strength if there's no alternative for Boogie.
Right.
And I really look at the Lakers as the one strong alternative they have in terms of the number they can get.
Right.
So this is a situation where it may be simple math. If what New Orleans is willing to do is 20 plus, give or take, with a second year and their control on year two, if you're Boogie and you can get more money for 2 or 3 years, that's why you're going to leave. He's not worried about being in Golden State's division in that circumstance. Boogie is not a signature shoe guy. He is not creating that kind of off-the-court income. So it does become very germane if you're getting 3 years at 20 plus versus one in an option that the team controls. Now, I don't know that that's what the conversation would center around. I have no idea. But the reason that I look at Boogie as potentially leaving New Orleans is not at all a slight in New Orleans. It's this simple negotiation leverage he would have because LeBron identifies that's a guy I would want to play with.
Plus, he'll be in Los Angeles playing with LeBron James.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys, the Pelicans, look, AD played the best basketball of his career, you could argue, after Boogie went down. Drew Holiday was fantastic. They were really competitive in that series against the Warriors.
They were.
What need do they have to overpay Boogie Cousins versus spending that money elsewhere? Am I not seeing that?
Well, because he's an all-star player. Let's not get this twisted now. Boogie Cousins, when he's healthy, is a terrific basketball player. So, and they were just starting to really hit their stride as a team when he got hurt. Alvin Gentry, give him a ton of credit. He figured out a way to use those two guys together effectively. So you never let a very good, an all-star player just walk. That never helps you. That does not help you as a basketball team. So you'd rather have Boogie and figure out how you're going to make it work as opposed to not having him at all. Now, having said that, they did play extremely well down the stretch. They played great in the playoffs, first round, swept a very good, I thought, Portland team.
Yeah.
And is to your point, and they were very competitive with Golden State. I covered that series. But they're not good enough. So how do you know? So you can't just walk away from a guy that good when you're still trying to get to where you want to be or where Golden State is.
Well, and the thing that's so fascinating about the New Orleans experience was in the absence of Boogie, they played faster than any other team in the league. And that really suited Anthony Davis and the rest of that talent. Drew Holiday found an altogether different gear in that. But here's the thing. When they have them both together, those twin towers, their style of play can force Golden State, should they meet, to have to keep a true center on the court. And now you're dealing with their 10th, 11th, 12th best player as opposed to their 6th or 7th best player. To some degree, if they can get Boogie at the right number, that's a gamble you must take because Alvin did such a great job of making the pieces fit. You want to be in a situation where you can see what could this really look like. And Dell, I think, is probably going to do a really good job of making sure that if the injury situation is still potentially a problem, they're protected. They indemnify themselves with a pre-existing injury exclusion. They get a non-guaranteed year, something that gives them the ability to get out if it doesn't go well from a fit standpoint or from a health standpoint.
I want to talk about the Pelicans financially in 1 second. I just want to point one thing out. I know later in this show, we're going to break down some of the value picks that you guys like. You look on that board, we always concentrate on big names. Look at the difference Rajon Rondo had on that team.
No question. Perfect.
And you think about the fit there. There's going to be so many of those kind of names, guys, over the next couple of days. That
it's news to Rondo. He's not a big name.
That's true. That's true. Good point.
Which is why he plays so well. Here's Eric Pickus, Ish. Hello, sir.
I just want to add one point to this whole Cousins situation. Anthony Davis. We've been talking about Kawhi. We talk about guys as they get near the end of their contract. Now, he's under contract this season, Anthony Davis. He's under contract the next season. But then that third season is a player option, and that's what they need to do is keep that guy under contract. So if you're investing in DeMarcus Cousins and it makes Anthony Davis want to stay there as opposed to nickel and diming Cousins, he goes somewhere else. Now maybe the team isn't as successful. It doesn't matter the Achilles. You have to make Anthony Davis happy. So I think you need to just keep that in mind as to why the Pelicans go ahead and unload that pocketbook and make something work. They might find something, like Griff said, a non-guarantee, something, an exclusion, but they're going to have to pay him.